And we're back. And I'm only 5 minutes late. Hey, that's pretty good for a mechanic, right? Or a doctor. Alright, so there's the gasket. See, new gasket. I sealed that up so in the groove so that I could put that in there and it'll hold. And I put a small layer of silicone on the back side of this. And I also siliconed in where these marks were. I cleaned this up and I looked really close, and they're just, it looks like casting marks, casting webbing, but I just they just bother me, so I'm gonna cover them up. And then that's grease on here. See that? That's grease there, braking grease. So I'm gonna stab this back on where our marks were. Perfect. All right. Some of these are different lengths. Which one's which? Let's find out. That's the long one. Okay. That's not the long one. That's the long one. The short one. The long one. Okay. Snugged up. I'm missing a couple here. Set them down there, I think. The camera crew left for the day. He's probably making comments on there. So I can't look at the screen and read comments at the moment. So, I hastily put everything away. So I'm missing one. There's like one bolt, one, two, three bolts for the oil pump. These are cover bolts. It's a mess down here now, so I don't know where my bolts are. Found them. I set them up top. So, there's that guy. The long one here. I think. Should be a short one there. Yep. Alright. I'll tighten this down, put the oil or the timing belt back on, and I'll show you what gasket material I use in a minute. Once I get this set so it can start drying. Head's probably in the way. This is pretty straightforward. It's just there's not a lot of room in here to work on anything. It's definitely not as bad as some. Mini Coopers are absolutely horrible. There's no room in there at all to even do the serpentine belt. seems tight. That's in good place. Sprocket for the belts. And while we're here, I could clean the residual oil there. And then put the timing belt on. Hang on. Let's see. If I can. See if I can put this tripod in here without killing myself. Kinda. There we go. Alright, so tensioner pulley and then idler pulley down there, which I set somewhere here. I know I set it somewhere. Oh, see, I'm just losing things. Here we go. Found it. Unless you have somebody else run the camera, there's really no good way to do this without blocking the camera. It's just a way about it. Unless I was, taking the time to operate the camera better, I suppose. Alright, there's that. I really just misplaced everything I was working with. Like that 14 mil socket I was using. Try to regroup here. Wrenches, 17, 10, 14, 10. Through the socket. That's it. That one. Bolt I was missing from last time. Oh, there's my sockets. Alright, so there's a 14. Tighten up the idler pulley. No, that's 12. What the hell? No, I'm still missing the 14. Well, who's that 13? That ain't gonna work. What is going on here? Shop elves came in while I was gone and stole my socket, I think. Give me a moment. Yep, I don't know, can't find it. We'll use a box and wrench. I think those guys inside the store came out, stole my socket. They're laughing their butts off in there. Alright, so, one thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull the spring off of this tensioner here. Make life a little bit easier while putting the belt back on. Let's see, she goes. Camshaft. Cam rolled on me, so I'm gonna need a 14 mil socket to get that back on there. This goes here. No timing on that. What's wrong? All right. That fell off. I had that problem last time though. Yeah, I'm gonna fight this for a few minutes here. It seems like it. There, that's on there. So you can see this guy. You can barely see that guy. I'll get you in there. What I like to do on the timing belts is I'll put I don't have them. I'll put a little vice grip on here to hold the belt, but just to pinch it very carefully so you don't damage the belt. Let's see if I can do it without it, because I'm using my vice grips on another vehicle at the moment. That keeps jumping off, doesn't it? Let's get this side set. I'll have to rotate it like I did last time, I think. Crankshaft set okay. Then camshaft's way off. Looks okay. So rotate this 1, 2, 3 teeth over. Grab my pen here. Try to get this to sit without moving. Find my pen. I'll make a mark back here, and 1, 2, 3 teeth over. 14. Back there. Tighten up. Hold it. See if I get that on there. And double check down below. Spring back on there. There we go. So it's on there, but it seems way too loose. Something's going on here. That's better. Alright. So I want to put a little extra pressure on that. I just don't like that spring tension. It seems to be a little bit too loose for me. try to pry up on the bottom of this tensioner while I tighten her down. Just a little bit, not a whole lot. Check. That seems like too much deflection there. I mean, everything else is tight, but that seems like a little bit much. Go ahead and pull this back. I'll tighten up this side of the belt. Check down there. That seems all good. It's got some deflection. It's not bad. Make sure that's all tight. Okay, now timing marks there, there. Bring it down here. Timing marks still line back up on the crankshaft, and I line the ones up over here on the oil pump. So I use Permatex, the right stuff, 1 minute gasket, black gasket maker. I use this on everything for oil, differentials, oil pan gaskets. A lot of, see this one? This oil pan gaskets factory, it's that tan silicone, kind of rubbery. It usually works pretty good. If you go look for a gasket for this, they might actually make one, and I wouldn't use a gasket on this. I'd only use the gasket material like this. I've used this inside transmissions. It works really good. The only difference is it doesn't really work well on fuel, gasoline. So I would use, there's a couple special different ones that you can use for gasoline, and there's also a different one that you use. It's a lot thicker for differentials and stuff like that, but I've used this on differentials. It works just fine. So should be dry, should be serviceable within a few minutes. So we're just gonna do a test run on this again. I don't want to put this all back together again and be horribly disappointed. Because I still have other jobs to do today. I got one viewer back. I can't see comments. I can just see how many people are watching. It's a new fandangled thing. Maybe I'll get to 1,000 viewers and I'll be able to stream live through YouTube. That way I can watch comments on my phone here. But if you subscribe, we'll get to 1,000 faster. We can really pick this channel up. All right, I'm gonna start this real quick, and we're gonna see if she's leaking. I'll put you in a position to see that. Up she goes. Be right in there. I know the lighting's horrible. Let's see if I can fix that. Come down a little bit. We're looking there. I hope this fucking thing doesn't leak. I'm gonna cry. Yay. There it is. I'll be right back. Let's start it. We're watching this oil knot leak right here. Yes. There we go. See, I don't like this app because the focus and everything isn't the native camera, so when I get to 1,000 viewers, I'll be able to use YouTube. That'll probably go better.
Yeah. Or Streamlabs.
Streamlabs?
Streamlabs. An OBS for like Twitch and YouTube.
Does it work better? Does it have different options? Streamlabs. I'll have to look into that one. I was just amazed I was able to stream before I got 1,000. Anyway, I saw a drip of water on the other side over there. I'm seeing water dripping. That's a new development.
AC's probably out.
Well, while everybody here watches this not leak, I'm going to figure out where that water's leaking from real quick. Oh, it's okay. It's just leaking out of the exhaust. It's just condensation out of the exhaust. It's fine. Well, yeah, I don't know. Probably see it in the background dripping over there. It's just coming off that exhaust right there. So, anyway. Well, if you followed the first part of this video, you'll notice that, within about 20 seconds, she'd be leaking, and now she's not. So I'm going to call that good. Clean up the rest of this underneath here, and give it back to the customer, and she can drive it. And keep an eye on the oil consumption and oil leaking. I don't think that pan's leaking, but that was the major oil leak we missed the first time, and it was hard to determine because all the oil that was present here, a lot of it was coming from the cam seal up top and from the crankshaft seal spraying out everywhere inside the timing cover. So I'm not currently seeing any leaks. I like that. I'm going to button this up and I'll just throw you a pop for a minute. Watch me put it all back together, I suppose. And then, like the first one, after this is posted, I'll go ahead and I don't know how to activate comments on this until it's done processing. So if you have a comment you want me to view, go ahead and come back after this is done processing. Leave a comment in there, and I will read through them a little bit later today and see what's going on. With my car, I would just leave that off. That looks better than actually, when I do my truck, I'm going to leave my timing belt off, so not bad. And a screensaver. Alright, let me fix this tripod. Yes, I'm going to get another small tripod to hold the camera in the engine bay. Alright. There we go. Oh, I lost somebody. There we go. I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm going to start by pulling back, pulling the pulley back off the crankshaft, putting the timing belt cover on the lower side of this, and I can jack it up put the upper and the motor mount in. That came off all right. That's all. Threw an extra bolt in where the timing cover goes. I'm gonna pull that one out. There we go. Long bolt. The long one's probably gonna go. Nope, that's a short one also. Put an extra long one. No, that's a long one, but there's another piece that goes there. And the upper cover. Long bolt, 3 short bolts. So that one there. Short bolt in the middle here. Short there. I'm gonna put this motor mount back on before I'm messing around with the alternator. And I'll bring the motor up for that. This bolt here is the worst one. know where my buddy went, but it's not as entertaining when it's just me. Gotta have side chatter going on. Alright. He probably had something better to do than sit here watch me do a freaking fix a leak. I don't blame him. Small sockets. Find the other one. Come up a little bit. Okay. Is this 14 here? You know what? I think I need to put. Put the top cover on first. Get covered by that. So. This 17 mil for the motor mount on there. I'm gonna put these as tight as I can. Almost get that one, but not really. So, the wrench. Already set down somewhere. So if you're careful about it, hang on, for the one person that's watching and the rest that might watch later. If you need more leverage and you just can't get it on here, it's really hard to get a breaker bar or something on there. You can take another wrench and you can put them in like this so that you can get leverage on it and push down. It's a longer bar. But you really want to be careful because if that rolls off, you're going to smash your fingers. So you want to make sure that stays nice and square when you're pushing down on it. So sometimes you want to just put your hand on here and hold this together while you're pushing down for leverage. Alrighty. Get that out of the way. that. Now it's starting to rain on my parade. Yeah, you can see that kind of. There's kind of a washer in here. It's a slip ring. Sometimes you got to hammer that out of the way so that you can fit the alternator back in there. Should just fit in though, but squeeze it in. Bolt for the alternator. It's definitely raining on me now. Get this in, but don't tighten it all the way down. You want to just get it snug. I still don't have the crankshaft pulling on. It's more Loctite back on that bolt. Snug that in. Bolt for the other side. Tensioner. Get that lined up. Get that snug down. Put the wiring on now. That motor mount, the belt, and this 10 alternator. And now we can tighten the battery back up. Okay. Now, crankshaft pulley. So we drop this. We're going to do the power steering pump belt, tension that. We do that when this is down, and put the other belt on, and everything else. So everything else we can do while it's down. So go ahead and set it down, and look at this motor mount here. This motor mount here. Come on. It's got a pin in it. You can't see it from the top. It's got a pin in it from the bottom that you got to get lined up so you can put that bolt in. So as I let this down, it doesn't quite line up. See by the hole inside there. You can kind of see it's off center, so we want to stick a screwdriver down in there, take some weight off of the motor mount, and lift it back up just slightly while we line it up till that pin locks in. We'll do that now. Screwdriver will work. Too much weight on it. Weight off. Get that lined up. There it goes. Now, put this bolt back in. That was 17 with the extensions. Okay. Power steering goes on first, and that's 12 millimeters. So then pull all these tools out of here. Those are the motor mount bolts up there. The rest of these tools out of here. I'm live.
That's the setup, dude. That's sick.
Thank you. Alright, so crankshaft all the way down. away. And crankshaft pulley. So I'm just gonna use a tiny bit of red Loctite and hammer it on. Should be fine. Now this is where having an impact gun would absolutely be needed. Usually want to hammer this on with 150 pounds or so. I've only had one ever come loose, and not one that I had Loctite on, so I'm not worried about it coming back off, personally. Okay, so we need to get the power steering belt on, tighten the power steering pump. That's the first belt. Pry bar. I think it was kind of difficult last time I did this. This is one you gotta pry on and then tighten. It's not like this one that's got a tensioner you can adjust. This one you have to physically pry and hold into position while you tighten down the lock nut. That feels just about right. And then this guy here. Everything lines up right. Belt's not rubbing against the timing belt cover. Everything else looks like it's lined up okay. Don't have any extra parts left. You know, that's always a good thing. This one's easier. Just run this cut down until look off for 1/2 inch of deflection or something. Yeah. That seems okay. This belt looks like it's splitting now. It's interesting. interesting thing. I think we'll be replacing that belt here in a while. Let's see how she does in the meantime. So 14 for those. Motor mount here. Just slide right into position. Got that on camera. Nope. I'm working there, right there. Just motor mount here. Slides right into position. Doesn't really hold the motor up. That one in the front holds the motor up. This one just kind of holds the motor from rocking. And these ones go bad. The inside goes bad fairly easy. The motor will rock and will clunk when you put it in drive and park and reverse. It's like 20 bucks. It takes like 5 minutes to replace. 14mm socket. Quick and easy. Just remember to hook these grounds back up. Important. I believe that's it on the upper half here. Everything's connected. Double check the oil. It's just under full, so that's good. Everything else is buttoned up at the top. All of our tools are out. We do need to put the coolant reservoir back in. There's one 10mm bolt. Deep 10mm. Alright, got that. Also, this cover for down there. Let's finish this. Should be done up here. Looks like everything. This guy. Let's bring it down. Oh no. Here, I'll compromise with you. Here, let's compromise. I'm gonna go wide camera. Alright, so I was putting this cover on. Oh, before I button this up, now that we've put everything back together, so we can see, let me get you back in here. Right. We can see that from before it was leaking out between here, down this, yes, I know that's still oily. It was leaking out this, dripping down right here. I ran it for a few minutes, and it's been sitting now for 20 while I put the rest of this timing belt back together, and there's no oil dripping out of that at all. So I'm confident that I fixed the rest of the oil leaking from this engine. We'll go ahead and take it to a steam cleaner, pressure wash the engine, and this, or I'll recommend it unless she wants me to do it. Clean the oil off this frame rail so we can keep a better eye on it. But let's finish putting it back together. I think we're done. I think that's it. Button this up in the next 5 minutes. So thank you guys for watching. That's basically all there is to doing a timing belt on a Toyota 2.2. You mark it like that, you pull the tensioner off and everything like that. It's not a whole lot there. Now if you're doing the water pump on it, I think that took me an extra hour to do the water pump. But, you know, it's not bad. Just a little bit more work, not horrible. It's definitely something I recommend if you're doing a timing belt on one of these. It's the water pump is driven by the timing belt, so if you're gonna do the timing belt, definitely just do the water pump. And again, we did the timing belt water pump on this because we didn't. I'm still alive. We did the timing belt water pump on this because we didn't know, there was no record on when it was done last, and we were about 170,000. I can't remember, but I believe the timing belt interval called for 60. Was it? 60,000, so that was like the third, it was on its third run of timing belt, and we couldn't confirm. It didn't look that great, but I couldn't confirm, and I think this one's again, I think it's an interference engine. I'd rather not have to find out. So you want to text her and let her know I'm done? Alright. If she's not watching?
That's what I was calling.
She might be watching. Hey, if you're a bad mechanic, don't give the customer the live stream link. You never know what'll happen, you know? Something that's overlooked. I don't know why this is overlooked. This should be just completely ridiculously simple to understand, but sometimes it's overlooked. See the valve stem right there at the bottom of the tire? See the hubcap? You see this little notch on the hubcap? That's for the valve stem. That goes there where the valve stem is. I'm not telling you because I don't know your education level, but I've seen that done wrong by experienced mechanics who went to school. So just FYI, if you want to laugh at them, go ahead. I don't know, whatever. I find it sad. All right, it's cleanup time. So I'm gonna bring you back over here. I'm gonna run you out. I know what camera we're on. Let's go wide. I'm gonna start it up, let it warm up, make sure there's no issues here. Give me a moment. Looks good to me. Want to watch me put my tools away? Sure. Always clean up after yourself. Your mother doesn't work here. That's what I'm operating with, a trunk. But I have this set up pretty efficiently. So, that side's a mess. Yeah. Keep it sure while I'm cleaning. This box back here has the jack stands in it, the jack handle, and the breaker bar. I got jack handles, jack, and then I put in this is a box of random stuff. Today I got gloves in it. Sorry, box of gloves, and then my parts tray. Get buried down in there. My oil tray. Got a couple of old rags. Or an oil rag. Put that soak up in there. That guy in there. That's in there. Funnel goes in there. And 2x4s. Go in there somewhere. The brake bar is in there usually. I just put it there. We have heavy tools in here. All the sockets, hammers, cheater bars, bigger tools, chain wrench. The marker in there. Pry bars, hammers, things of that nature. And look, all the wrenches, pliers, ratchets, specialty sockets, and some specialty things. Sometimes 1/4-inch sockets. Ratchets, pliers, screwdriver. Those right there. Yeah. Silicone extension. And make sure you clean up your mess. Very good. Good to go. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe. I'll make some more videos soon. I appreciate your time.